Alexa versus Jaina.
Heya folks, it's Kikoskia here with some more Hearthstone. And my do I have a deck for you today. A very silly deck at that. You may see that there are quite a few mechs in here. This deck is focused around one mech in particular, that unfortunately hasn't made an appearance yet in my hand. Now it has! It's all about the Goblin Bomb. A 0-2 mech for one that when it dies, deals 2 damage to the opponent's face. This deck is effectively focused around the mech version of the leper gnome. I'm going to wait for an opportunity to either play the animal companion or hit a minion with the bomb toss. I have one animal companion in the deck, just because there's a chance that Leok could be summoned, and that gives my... Hello, belligerent gnome, how are you? Are you well? Let's see what we get here. Not bad. And I think we will wait. That 1-4 is not going to be able to do too much damage to my Leok. Flanking Strike will be quite useful next turn.
Welcome to the show.
There is 3 damage. And that's a 1-2. Which is good because now we can throw the bomb. Aha! 0-2 is here now. And I think a hero power is a good choice. I don't want to venomize it yet because it can't attack at present. I want this to be a very unassuming minion that is immediately going to get hit for 2 damage to the mage. I think Flanking Strike is not a bad thing to play here, just so that I can get that 3-3. I have quite a lot of minions in here that can spawn goblin bombs. I have the Whirliglider. I have the 4-mana minion that makes 2. I even crafted the legendary minion that makes 4 of them. And that is a lot of damage. A Ghastly Conjurer, eh? Are you going to play that spell immediately? You are not. There's a Whirliglider. Let's play it. There's that 0-2. And I think we should just start dealing damage right away. 2 damage there. And we're going to ignore that minion and go face. We're going to save the charge of my candle shop. There's no reason to hit anything right now. There could be a blizzard in my future, but if there is... Knife Juggler! Ooh, with the, yes, the mirror image. 1 hit there. 1 hit to the face. It's a good thing that that's still there, because that means you have to spend some mana. And you're going to trade there, which is fine. Okay, what can we do? Well, we could deal quite a bit of damage using the Void Ripper to get rid of these 2 mirror images and destroy this. But I think instead I'm going to do this and venomize. There we go, we have a 2-4 now, and I think we shall play dead on it to deal 2 more damage. Then I think we'll do... We'll actually do this now. There we go. That gets rid of the things blocking me from hitting this and that, and I think I will get rid of this and then hit the face. And now I think I actually will hit this. There we go. So that the opponent is encouraged to trade it, otherwise I will just get rid of it for free. You're going to do that. 2 more damage. You only have 11 health now. Witchwood Grizzly, which is a 3/11, and you get 2 random minions. That's fine. Because I have some big minions in my future. And I think playing this is not a bad idea just to have a minion here. We'll play a 5/5. Hit here so that you don't hero power that. And then we'll hit you in the face for 2 with my hero power. You have 9 health, and I've barely been touched health-wise. And I have even more minions that summon... Ooh, a Marnie Warbear. They don't summon a Marnie Warbear, they summon more goblin bombs.
Bring me steel.
Master Swordsmith. There's a good chance that I may perish before I can get those goblin bombs out. Raid Leader's not really going to help me here. Not really. But if I slowly deal damage and trade this into here so that I don't get 6 damage dealt to me every single turn, that'd be a good thing. Not really much I want to do right now. I want to save the Raid Leader. So I shall end my turn and see what my opponent does, and hope that my opponent doesn't have any healing. A secret. And another secret. Fortunately, neither of those will save my opponent if I just hero power. Let's see where that goes. Over there to make a 2-3. Bomb toss, eh? That might be useful. But it also might trigger a counterspell. It's the only real spell I have at the moment. I don't have many spells in this deck. I'm going to have to risk it and hit my opponent in the face. It worked! Marvellous! I have another 0-2 Goblin Bomb. And then I'm going to hero power. I can get that Goblin Bomb active with one of my Raid Leaders, and then trade it into the 3-8. Dragonling mechanic? Ooh, you polymorphed it. Alas, the bomb is now a sheep, and the sheep is now gone. Fortunately, my opponent doesn't have a lot of damage on the board, so maybe I can do something. A spider bomb is not going to do anything right now. I'm not doing very well with my card draw, because this deck is really bad with card draw. But maybe I could limp over to the victory line with my hero power. We'll see what happens. Do you have any healing? Do you have the Death Knight card?
One for all.
You have Marin the Fox. Will that save you? I don't think it will. I have 5 health. I have 4 health. And I'm frozen. But fortunately, that's sufficient. Well played. That damage I got to deal with the Goblin Bombs literally made all the difference. I was 1 turn away from defeat there. Can we get a match where I show off how effective the early game of Goblin Bombs can be? We'll find out as we queue up once again. A win is still a win, even if it was barely a win, though. This deck really struggles against decks that can stabilize.
Versus Uther.
We're up against a Paladin. And there is the Explodinator. And Bomb Toss. And another Explodinator. I feel like getting rid of 1 Explodinator. And getting instead another Spider Bomb. We have a potential 2, 3, 4. Not bad. Hello, how are you? We have the Explodinator back. There'll be plenty of explosions here, it seems. What kind of deck is my opponent playing? A hero power. Do I want to bomb toss that 1-1? Or do I want to just bomb toss my opponent's face? I think we want to do that. We don't mind that 1-1 being there. We do want that 2 damage, though. Paladins, however, are pretty good at healing. So what are you going to do in response to my 0-2? You're going to reinforce. And you're going to play a secret. This might work out to my benefit, especially with a candle shot. Let's see what secret that is, shall we? Fortunately for me, it's an auto-defense matrix. I thought it might be a noble sacrifice. I think this might be good. 2 more damage, and we're going to trade. We have the board, although not by much. Goodbye, 2-1. Hello, Saronite Chain Gang. How are you? I think, ooh, Bomb Toss number 2 might be interesting. Bomb Toss number 2 might be very interesting. Or we could just play the Explodinator. An Explodinator would give us a 3-2 and 2 0-2s. This would give us a 3-4. Or we could just Bomb Toss. At this. And then coin Spider Bomb. Now we have the board again and a minion that we can attack with. We can Explodinator next turn. Consecration really isn't a good spell to play against this deck because you'll be taking a lot of damage from those goblin bombs. That's a 1-1. I feel like playing some more goblin bombs. If in doubt, loads of goblin bombs. We'll get rid of that minion. Hit you for 3. If my opponent clears the board, he is staring at 8 points of damage.
The light dims.
Righteous Protector.
Fight.
Engaging TC
Mind Control Tech. You've got that goblin bomb now. And you're going to Blessing of Might. Interesting. Boommaster Flark is here, but we won't play Boommaster Flark yet. Let's Spider Bomb, shall we? And hit this. Noble Sacrifice. Not the best because we don't get the deathrattle effect. I was hoping it would be another auto defense matrix. That's fine though. We'll hit here and here for more damage and get rid of that. And then summon another goblin bomb. I'm not bothered about that goblin bomb hitting me. Another secret. You have lots of secrets in this deck, opponent. I wonder if that's another auto defense matrix. Probably is with a Blessing of Might there. Or not, because you are trading. You're trading in to that minion that will destroy that minion. It is time to see what this is, and then we don't actually have enough space for all of the goblin bombs. This makes me sad. Instead, we'll just play even more goblin bombs. And then hero power. That's a lot of damage. That's 10 damage. If I can find a way to activate them and get them killed. That's a 0-9. That is actually a mighty obstacle for this board. And the Venomizer would be useful right now, but unfortunately, I can't actually play it because I don't have a space free. But as soon as one of these minions is cleared, I will have a space free. Ooh, a 9-7. That's kind of worrying. That's very worrying. And I still don't have enough space to really get through. And if I play the Venomizer to get rid of the unpowered Steambot, that Divine Shield will trade in. That's what I'm sort of worried about. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play the Goblin Bomb, I'm going to Hero Power, and then I'm going to do that. If I have any way to trigger all of them, you are gone. But I need to find a way to activate them first. A Blessing of... Oh, that's not necessarily too bad. That's not too bad at all. You're going face. Okay. War Gear. What can we do with a War Gear? Not a huge amount right now, considering the fact that we don't really have the space. You can't play a magnetic minion when you don't have any space on the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade here to get rid of that minion and make some space. Then I think I will play this minion and trade here. Then trade this minion into here. presenting multiple targets, and more importantly, endangering my opponent's health even more. You're going to do that, which is fine. 2 more damage. You're going to turn that into a 3-3, and make that into a really mighty minion. This does not bode well for me. Unless I can find a way to activate all of my goblin bombs. There are quite a few methods, and I've found one. There we go. All this damage, straight past any secrets you have and any taunts. Well played! Again, victory from the jaws of defeat. There were a few cards I could have got there to be victorious. The Void Ripper, the Raid Leader, the Direwolf Alpha that we saw there, or Leok from an Animal Companion. I was fortunate. Will we be fortunate a third time around? Or will I be absolutely crushed, as opposed to nearly being absolutely crushed? Let's find out. I'm a bit sad that I haven't had an opportunity to use Boom-master Flark effectively yet. It's really an endgame card in a deck that really doesn't have much endgame.
Versus Gul'dan.
A Warlock, on the other hand, could provide me with an opportunity to get to the endgame. Direwolf Alpha. I actually want to get rid of... I actually want to keep the Spider Bomb. I may not want this, though, because I don't have a Goblin Bomb for turn 1. I've got a War Gear, but not a Goblin Bomb. Greetings. You are not an even Warlock. I played against an even Warlock when I tested this deck out. The even Warlock perished by turn 5. It was a really good draw for me and a really bad draw for my opponent. Let us see what you do. Nothing. Works to my benefit. Do I want to bomb toss right now? No, I will wait. No point using that when there isn't a target. Let us see what you do. If you have Kalaseth, this might not end well for me, as you'll be able to outdamage me substantially. Okay. Nothing. I think now it is time to bomb toss you. Aha! Have a bomb! Fear the 0-2. Actually, you probably shouldn't fear the 0-2. There's not much to fear here.
Out of my
Stonehill Defender. War Gear would be nice if I could actually do anything with it. I could Flanking Strike that. I could Spider Bomb it. But I think Flanking Strike is going to be better here. There we go. Just to get a bigger minion on the board, and also to save the Spider Bomb's deathrattle. I may need it, especially if a really big minion gets played soon. I also have played Ed. Soul Infusion. And a Dusk Bat. Fortunately, the Dusk Bat couldn't do anything really nasty. There's the Explodinator. I feel like the Explodinator would be a good choice here. Not bad. Then again, this might also be pretty good. Could also use the Bomb Toss here to get through there. I think the Explodinator's a good choice here. I just want to play lots of damage, just to make it a dangerous prospect playing something like Defile or Hellfire. I also have lots of targets for the War Gear next turn, and then the other War Gear per turn after. There's the Hellfire! That's a lot of damage right there to your face. And I have a good target here for a bomb toss. And I have another Goblin Bomb. There we go. More Goblin Bombs. And a Hero Power. You are now at 15 health. And if you play a big taunt, there's a 50-50 chance that I'll be able to get through it with the Spider Bomb's Deathrattle.
Get behind me.
There's a pretty big Taunt. It's a very big taunt, actually. Now, do I risk this? I think I have to. There we go. Can we get through? It's a 1 in 3. No. Can we get through now? It's a 1 in 2. No. Do we necessarily need to, though? Because we have more goblin bombs that will deal more damage over time. That is 7 damage, however.
Unity.
And that is Ziliax. Ziliax is bad. Ziliax is really bad. That's 3 healing, and there's going to be 3 more healing. That will be good for triggering the Goblin Bomb's ability, but as it stands, this is a 5-7. It's going to trade here, just to stop you from gaining more health, but that 7-7 is going to be able to trade very effectively into my 5-4. And then I'll lose another minion with the war gear having to trade back into that next turn. Sense demons. Ooh, you have some demons to draw.
Bare your soul.
That's a lifesteal minion. I may have faced the wall that my deck cannot get through. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I do need to get rid of that, though. And I could do that by playing the war gear and smashing it into that 7-7, which I pretty much have to do. It's the only way to get through that. The downside here, of course, is that that minion will start giving him health, and this 2-2 can trade quite effectively into my 10-2. That's a really good trade for him. Loads of taunts can be really bad, and that lifesteal was also really bad. There's healing for 1. Defile! That's a lot of damage there. And there's a giggling inventor. That is a big, massive wall that I will have to get through. It's safe to say that this has not gone very well for me this time. 1 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage, plus 1 healing, and I have 8 health. We're not going to be getting through this one by the skin of our teeth this time. The best chance we really have is to get something on the board and Cybertech chip so that we might be able to get a taunt. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's not great, but it's all I've got. You might have quite a bit of damage in your hand, in the form of, say, a Doom Guard. Do you have a Doom Guard? Because at the moment I'm not dead. I've been relying on the fact that I'm not dead by technicality quite a bit. When this deck does well, it does really well. When it doesn't, however, it does poorly. As is the case here. That's still not going to help me, sadly. And there is the Whirler Glider. What is below? Unfortunately, defeat. There's nothing I can do here. Well played. It is over. We just couldn't get the Goblin Bombs to land where we wanted them to. Mainly because of those really big taunts. That Booty Bay Bodyguard, really, really insurmountable. Sometimes defeat happens, and sometimes you play with a deck that has a very silly premise that isn't that strong. If you get a good start, it's really good. But I didn't get many good starts. But that doesn't matter, because the deck is great fun to play. It may need a bit of refining. And so, that was 3 matches with my Goblin Bomb focused Hunter deck. It really is heavily focused on Goblin Bombs. It would be better to actually remove some of the Goblin Bomb cards and pick other things, like, say, a Leroy Jenkins, or things that would deal damage in a more direct manner that aren't Bomb Toss and the ability to summon Huffer once, potentially. But I like taking something and going to the extreme with it. Going, Goblin Bombs. Let's have all the cards with Goblin Bombs. If only we'd have got that Boom Master Flark Void Ripper combo. but we didn't, unfortunately. But that is the way it goes sometimes. And so, when we come back, folks, still winning twice, even if just barely, is a good result for me. And when we return, there may be a new, equally silly deck, or there may be a tavern brawl, or anything else that may come to mind. For who knows what weird and peculiar creations can be created. Like taking that deck and putting it in wild. Imagine Feign Death, where you can trigger all of the death rattles on your side of the board. Imagine Baron Rivendare, making those death rattles trigger twice. You have 6 Goblin Bombs and Baron Rivendare, an ideal situation that probably won't happen, and you have 16 points of damage per Feign Death. Have 2 Feign Deaths and you could kill an opponent from 30 to 0. That is a best case scenario though. We did not have the best case scenario in any way there. But that is how Hearthstone goes. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. And if you hear someone shout, "Look out below," while you're playing Hearthstone, best to move, because a Goblin Bomb is about to hit your head. And you don't want that to hit your head. Unless it has 0 damage, whereupon it won't actually do anything. But it would hurt your head a bit, because they are made of metal. Later.